Night falls, enveloping a corner of the ship's face in a deep, dark velvet veil, cold and mysterious. Far out at sea, hundreds of nautical miles from land, where the boundary between sky and water curves into an indefinite arc, the steel-hulled ship, carrying the aspirations of the ocean, continues its relentless march through the surging waves. The roar of the diesel engines is deafening, rhythmic like the beating of an unyielding iron heart. Tonight, a large-scale, unprecedented fishing operation is underway. Not speed traps or small coastal fish, but a group of intruders attacking an estimated hundreds of tons of migrating pelagic fish slowly moving through the deep water. Preparations for this century-defining catch have been underway for days. Since the crimson sunset cast its glow upon the water's surface. Protection like a mirror. The ocean never bestows its gifts easily. Every precious product must be appreciated through a thorough understanding of natural laws, precise technical specifications, and above all, the extraordinary courage of the entire crew. Below the central control room, a state-of-the-art sonar system constantly detects cryptic, dry sounds, recording movement signals from deep beneath the surface. On the screen, dense, viscous clumps of deep red moved slowly, forming an endless strip, evidence of the existence of a fish city swimming nearly 3 meters below the surface of the murky sea. The captain, a man with eyes as sharp as razor blades, streaks of gray in his hair, and a sturdy build like a stone sculptor, stood silently before the control panel. He observed each parameter of water temperature, salinity, In his mind, a perfect tactical map had been drawn. Every step, every leisurely turn, every slow pace of the ship had to be calculated precisely to the second. A small mistake, even just a few nautical miles, given the speed of the current, could cause an entire net to be lost. Or worse, tear apart the entire, valuable network of fast-moving cargo under the crushing force of the water current. Instantly, like a machine activated by a single button, the entire deck of the ship underwent a temperature change. The crew, clad in dark orange protective suits with anti-slip rubber grips, swiftly moved to their assigned positions. The powerful lighting system was switched on. Hundreds of high-powered halogen lights pointing straight down to the water's surface, creating a shimmering area of light against the dark expanse of the night sea. This intense light acts as a self-sufficient optical lure, attracting millions of plankton from all directions, thereby enticing large schools of fish swimming in the deep waters to rise higher into the trap that has been set. The reinforcing panels, made of super strong, cut-resistant synthetic fibers, capable of withstanding hundreds of tons of tensile force, slowly slide off the ship's net with the screeching sound of the hydraulic pulley system. Each meter of netting lowered forms a wall of footholds, giving criminals a vast space in the middle of the ocean. The leisurely work requires absolute coordination between the operations supervisor and the buoy operators on deck. Just one stray cable or a single flare getting caught, and the entire floating cable system will be instantly disrupted. After completing the encirclement, tightly sealing off the lives of millions of fish mesmerized by the light, the most arduous challenge officially begins, pulling in the nets and hauling hundreds of tons of fish from the deep sea to the surface. This is when the fishing vessel must struggle against the terrifying force pulling upwards from below, combined with the strength of the chaotic, thrashing school of fish and the pressure from the swirling ocean currents. The hydraulic winches were operating at full capacity, emitting a terrifying, reverberating noise. The steel cables, as stiff as threads, were pulled to their limit. Each burst of white foam erupted under the system's pulling force. On the deck, a foul, sticky sand clung to the suntanned faces of the fishermen. No one spoke a word. Everyone was intensely focused on the aircraft's movements and the ship's oscillations. Such a large-scale strategic service network. Just one cable snapping, an overloaded mesh, or a coral reef at an angle the entire net could tear, posing a dangerous risk of property loss and jeopardizing the integrity of the seaplane. Yet, honed through years of facing treacherous waves and dangers, the fishermen maintained a surprisingly steady and calm demeanor. Each meter was pulled back up to the surface. The vast expanse of water within the net now turned into a silvery reflection of hundreds of tons of fish being squeezed into the confined space of the bottom net. We vigorously swept the net, creating streams of white foam and producing a crashing sound like a torrential downpour during a storm. The sight was breathtakingly beautiful, yet incredibly intense. Tens of thousands of large fish, some with flattened or elongated bodies, were caught in it. Cleverly, they ignited high-powered flashlight beams amidst the turbulent storm, clashing together to create an unprecedentedly intense, stormy atmosphere in the heart of the night sea. The salty smell of the ocean mingled with the distinctive fishy odor, the scent of fresh sea breeze filling the air. When the belly of the net was freed from the water's surface by a specialized system on board, its terrifying power created a hydraulically tilting network supporting it to one side. The technicians had to quickly spray water from the opposite side of the ship to balance the levels, ensuring the vessel's stability amidst the stormy ocean. The process of repairing the nets was underway, allowing the entire war supply to be unloaded into the large hold, creating an atmosphere of overwhelming joy on board. Cheers erupted, mingling with the noise of the engines and the sound of the waves. Hundreds of tons of fresh fish, with their muscular bodies. It was the fruit of passion, sweat, intellect, and persistent effort throughout countless days adrift on the waves. Watching the white fish fill the boat's hold, the fishermen found that all their catch, dangers, and sleepless nights battling the wind were worthwhile. The sea, though it both resolves and conceals many anxieties, ultimately always opens its arms to embrace those who are imaginative, hardworking, respectful, and reliant on nature for survival. The sun had just risen above the horizon, casting golden rays of light onto the murky sea, where millions of tiny pearls of water still clung to the ship's deck, shimmering like dancing diamonds. The holds of numerous steel-hulled vessels were now overflowing with precious products from the ocean. Hundreds of tons of fresh fish, their strategically placed coats and bodies still writhing in their final spasms, were quickly raked by the sailors and covered with layers. The atmosphere on board remained lively despite the sleepless night spent struggling against the weight of the sea. On the contrary, shouts, boisterous laughter, and the rhythmic roar of the engines blended together, creating a vibrant and energetic atmosphere of people mastering the ocean. Their hands, calloused from salt and sun, continued to work tirelessly within the automated ice-making systems. Groups of sailors took turns guarding the ship's deck. The captain remained on the bridge, his sharp gaze never leaving the radar screen and state-of-the-art navigation equipment. For seasoned fishermen like him, a successful large-scale net haul was just the beginning of a long voyage. Fuel was still full, the machinery was running smoothly, and most importantly, signals from the sonar system on the seabed were still indicating the presence of schools of fish. Immediately, the order was executed with surprising discipline. The machines checked the main engine's cooling system, replenished oil and gas, and meticulously inspected every technical detail to ensure no unexpected problems occurred during the next shift. Meanwhile, on the aft deck, the crew was urgently and neatly rolling up the recently towed vessel, inspecting each mesh network, patching cracks, and rearranging the buoys and lines to ensure proper branching. The ship proudly sailed forward, its sails unwavering. Behind the helm, a white streak of water stretched endlessly across the turquoise sea. Like a white silk ribbon across the vast ocean, the serpentine sea breeze carried the distinctive salty scent of water, vapor, and clouds. Swirling the pale, white clouds drifting lazily in the high heavens. Feathered walruses, the war-hardened seagulls that had been circling the ship for hours. As dusk fell, the sky turned a deep orange hue before shifting to a vibrant purple, and the atmosphere on board became more tense than ever. The high-powered lights were to be checked once more, ready to be lowered into the water to create artificial light zones to attract plankton and schools of fish from the deep sea towards the ship's sides. The entire crew entered a new shift of intense concentration, preparing themselves for the next battle of strength between tiny humans. Night once again cast its dark, velvety shadows over the vast ocean, where only the steady hum of fishing boat engines and the lapping of waves against the steel rocks remained. Under the starry sky in the distance, the steel-hulled vessel, carrying the hopes and aspirations of an entire community of fishermen, continued its relentless march forward. On the command bridge, the soft blue light from the radar screen reflected the sunlight etched into the scars of wind. Beneath the dark depths of the ocean, the nocturnal world operates according to wondrous and harsh laws of survival. Modern sonar systems continuously emit echoing sound signals, painting dense red blocks on the electronic screen. Evidence of the existence of a teeming fish city submerged at depths exceeding 300 meters. The captain sits thoughtfully before the nautical chart, his hand gently gripping a ring, meticulously observing each sleep.